Hi everyone, Julien here, nurse practitioner for Danesthetics Medical, and our clinic is located here in Ottawa, Canada. Today's video, the second video of a three-part series focusing on a full face rejuvenation of this beautiful client right here. Today we're going to be focusing on the ergotrid, which is the distance between the upper lip and the nose, the nasolabial folds, and the accordion lines, which are superficial lines right behind the mouth that can extend posteriorly. So let's get into that. I'm really excited. You should be too. Let's do it. All right, so before we begin, we're gonna have to touch a little bit on safety and anatomy. So to assist me, we're gonna have to bring in my buddy Stuart. Hey, Stuart. So what are we looking at? I want you guys to focus on this facial artery, and I want you to pay attention to two things. One, it starts deep here, but then usually when it crosses the lateral part of this iris, it becomes superficial. So we know that whenever we're placing filler on this nasolabial fold right around here, we wanna stay deep to avoid hitting that. And ideally, I use a cannula to be extra safe. Now, the other thing I want you to note is the distance from this facial artery to the mouth, because this artery actually branches off into the inferior and superior labial arteries, and those happen at about 1.5 centimeters from the oral commissure. So what I want to do is I want to start my entrance point usually at about 4 millimeters lateral of the oral commissure, and I'm not going to hit this branch of arteries here, and I'm not going to cause a big bruise. Now we're going to focus on treating these upper lip lines, which are also called barcode lines. They used to be called smoker's lines, but not too many people smoke these days. Hi everyone, I just want to interrupt you for a brief moment here to talk about Jane app, which is sponsoring this video. Jane is an EMR documentation platform that I'm using in my clinic, and the main reasons why are because it's affordable, Canadian made, and it's PHIPAA approved. Not only that, they have a great support team, and it's an interesting, easy way for you to get started. A good example is go into Jane app, look up my clinic or any other clinic. My clinic is Danesthetics Medical Design, and you will have access to all of my chart templates. These are all templates that I've created, including consent forms, and they're made publicly available to all of you. So if you're new in this industry, or if you just want to spruce up your EMR and try something new, check it out. If you want to give it a try, here's a 1-month grace period using Danesthetics 1MO, and give them a whirl. Now back to the video. Now the choice of filler is really important here. I'm not going to name any brands, but basically I'm going to choose something that I would use in a tear trough. Something that's not hydrophilic, so it's not going to draw in any water, and something very thin. I don't want almost any volume here. Minimal as possible, because I have the risk of causing this puffy upper lip. No one wants that. All I want to do is just hydrate that area and smooth out those lines a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll take my cannula, and I'll bring in Stuart here again, come in from the side, and I'm going to bring it superficially all the way to the philtrum column. Then I'm going to place a retrograde bead back, and I'm going to keep doing that all the way until I reach the ala, or the corner of the nose. And once I'm done, I massage it all in. I usually need about a half syringe per side, and the reason why we're using so much is because it's so thin, you're not really gonna see much of that. Next up is the nasolabial fold, and the reason why it's so important to treat that whenever you're doing the ergotrid is because you want a smooth and soft transition from here to the cheek. Now that this is restored and they have a nice cheek, you may get a bigger groove here, so let's prop that up and soften that transition and take off a few years. So basically what I'll do is I'll bring in Stuart here again to show you. I'm going to use the exact same entrance point, except now I want to go deep. And the reason why I'm going deep here is because of that artery. We want to stay away from that. So I'm going deep. I'm going right up to the ala, which is the corner of the nose here, which is basically here. And once I'm there, I'm basically wiggling my cannula instead of just keeping it there and placing a bolus. The reason why I do that is because, let's say for the odd chance that you actually hit an artery there, then you know you're going to be safe, because even if you got a little filler inside, it's not enough to cause damage. It's in and out. So that's what I'm always thinking about whenever I'm doing anything around here. Then finally, what I'm going to do is a retrograde bead all the way back until I reach almost my entrance point. And I do that a few times to follow that nasolabial fold to smooth it all in. Once that's done, I'm going a little bit more superficially. Now, so I'm changing the trajectory of my cannula more superficially all the way to the corner of the nose. And now I'm doing just little beads here all the way to the back, and I'm doing the exact same thing. And then I'm going to massage it all in. This is a great way to treat the nasolabial fold. You're going deep, you're going more superficial, plus you've got the needle technique to soften everything in. It looks really great and your clients are gonna love it. All right, now we're on to the technical stuff. We're treating the stubborn accordion lines. Accordion lines are superficial lines that are engraved in the skin, and they're usually a little lower than the nasolabial fold. They go around the mouth, and then they also extend laterally of the oral commissure here. And they're stubborn because you can't place Botox there. Botox is gonna hit any of those muscles and it's gonna give you a crooked mouth. And fillers in general are designed to be placed deep to restore volume. And if you do that here, it's not gonna really get rid of those lines. So this is how I do it. I switch over to another very, very thin filler, something that I'd use in the tear trough, and maybe even wet that down a little bit with a little bit of saline, depending on your jurisdiction, if you're allowed to do that. And I'm gonna take a needle and I'm going to bend it to give me a little bit of a better angle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go directly into the line itself, but I'm going to go subdermally, which means that I'm just under the skin and I'm hugging the skin and I'm placing just the first thin bead retrograde. Then I go back into the same line, but even more superficially, and I'm going transdermally now, which is between the dermis and epidermis, and I place my second bead, and then I rub it out. And again, I would never be able to get away with this if I was using any other type of filler. It's got to be extremely thin here, so be careful and don't place too much. Finally, if I have a line that's very deep and stubborn, I may even go across afterwards and do the exact same thing, but just underneath and now perpendicular to what I was doing before. But be careful, don't overdo it, because otherwise you're gonna get a little bit of puffiness, and we don't want that either. All right, so we did the tear troughs, the cheeks, the nasolabial folds, the ergotrid, and those stubborn accordion lines. Next week, to finalize it, we're gonna be talking about how I treat the lips, the marionette zone, and the chin to tie it all off. Stay tuned until then. Take care of yourselves, exercise daily, and please be nice to absolutely everyone. Take care.